everyone. Welcome back to Heartland Mamas.
I'm Heidi Henry, and I'm in your face.
Not today, Heidi.
No?
I am Marie Briel, and today I'm going to be in your face.
So I get to save the human race.
Yeah, she does. Or somewhere in the vicinity. It ought to be an interesting show.
From the edge of the Great Red Divide.
Our 25th episode.
I know, can you believe it? Yay!
I didn't bring a sparkly confetti popper thing.
But that would have been fun.
Why didn't we? 50th. We'll do it for the 50th.
That'll be great.
All right. Thank you so much. We want to say thanks to our subscribers, thanks to our viewers, thanks to our listeners. You guys have helped us share the message. We have over 1,000 unique listeners, and by the standards that it's being measured, we have those people have listened to multiple episodes.
I know.
So thank you for everything.
Thank
Keep
you.
us growing. Keep us getting bigger. It means the world to us, and it hopefully brings
the message of progressivism across America. And that's our whole goal. The whole reason we do this is to make sure that people understand that there's two sides to every story. And if the only thing you ever hear is that Democrats are bad, that progressives are terrible, that socialism is where our country is headed, then that's all you believe. But if you hear that social programs are a way of investing our tax dollars in our people, in our programs, in our communities to help us grow and be better, then that's the purpose. That's the reason we're here.
Exactly. We're also here to make sure that we get the truth. It's really hard. We do give our opinions, but we give you actual information as it's found and not our opinion first.
Right.
And that's really important because in today's day and age, you don't know what's real and what's not.
It's one of those things where...
you try to buy Denmark. Greenland.
No, Greenland.
Iceland. Sorry, Nordic countries. My bad. I know I messed it up. But exactly, that's what we're talking about is... we are so bombarded by lies and biases on both sides.
Well, Murray, the whole reason for all of this, I think of the song, Ball of Confusion, and if you haven't listened to it by The Temptation, it's so awesome.
That's a really good song,
but
yeah.
Every now and then I wake up with it like playing in my head. That's my earworm in the morning, and I think, here we are.
Did you say your earworm?
Earworm, that's a song you can't get out of your head. Yeah, that's what that's called.
Okay. It's going to get weird. It's going to get really, really weird here, guys. Has anyone ever heard of earworm?
Ball of Confusion. That should be yours right now. But yeah.
The word of the day is earworm.
Well, no, we actually are starting.
We actually have a word of the day. We are going to be doing a new segment called Word of the Day. So let's start off with our word of the day, Heidi Henry.
Well, here is my word of the day. Thorium. Do you know what thorium is?
Is it like Valium? Because that sounds fun.
No. Andrew Yang, who's running for president, is really big on nuclear energy.
Yang, listen up. Our Andrew Yang fans, we are shouting him out right now.
So thorium is another way of producing nuclear energy that isn't as dangerous as our current, hang on, I got to look at this, uranium-238. And the mining operation for thorium is not as detrimental to the environment as harvesting uranium. Okay. So
I like Andrew Yang more and more. I'm sorry. It's time for VP, not vice president, but message us and we'll let you know what P means. It's time for some of that and less testosterone. But Andrew, he's got a bright future.
Well, he really does. And the whole thing is he's talking about investing $50 billion rather, in research and development on thorium because it's a clean energy source, less dangerous to the environment, or not dangerous to the environment.
Didn't you say India and China are leading the way in that right now?
And this is something we can't allow to get ahead of us. Now, a lot of people are kind of...
Does that work when we're all living underground in a biodome because the world has exploded?
We know that...
Does that work there too? Can we use it down there is I guess the question.
My son came home today from work and said... something about us all choking to death as a world within...
As the lungs go up in flames.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe what's going on in Brazil right now in the Amazon. The Amazon and the Arctic are both on fire.
And
that's
the best part
really
is
bad,
they're clearing
really
it
bad.
Because they want to...
Plant corn.
Yes.
Because...
Guess what? We used to have corn that we could sell until somebody jacked it all up.
Yeah.
Yay, SCOTUS.
No, that's
Harry Orange Hitler.
POTUS.
Hair
That's
Führer. Hair Führer.
Well,
Hair
Orange
Führer.
Caligula.
Orange Caligula.
That's my
12.
name for him. So, so anyway,
Edit it, Chris.
so, but it's really important that we look at clean energy sources. And Murray, I don't think you know this about my family, but my dad was designed safety features for nuclear power plants after the disaster at Zion. Well, Zion plant wasn't a disaster, but it couldn't be used anymore in Zion, Illinois. And after 3 Mile Island, he went to learn safety features that would help prevent those things. And,
I did not know that. That is so cool.
Yeah, well, my dad was a pioneer in air pollution control engineer when I was a kid, and invented the reason bag houses, the reason grain silos don't blow up anymore, is because thanks to my dad and some of the work he did. He's way smarter than I'll ever be. So he's still smart. He's 97 and he still teaches me stuff.
Don't let her fool you. Not just a hat rack. Pretty clever.
So anyway, Pops worked on that back in the day and taught me a lot about nuclear energy and nuclear safety and how we are unnecessarily afraid of it. It's difficult. We have disposal issues right now. A cleaner nuclear fuel through thorium.
Thorium, the word for the day. Password is Thorium.
So that's your buzzword. So look it up. And Yang Gang, big shout out.
Andrew Yang, coming up, man. Props. Gotta give you mad props for that.
So that was a very interesting thing that I learned today in news that you may have missed. So.
And that leads us to our next segment. We are going to start doing a little piece called What Happened When We Were Watching the Dancing Elephant. I guess he's probably bigger than an elephant. Anyway, we get so distracted by things. When you were watching us try to buy Greenland. Or he
was going to nuke.
Wait, we're going to
hurricanes.
Nuke hurricanes to get them
we don't nuke hurricanes. Oh my God.
It's like a bad episode of Sharknado, and all the episodes of Sharknado were bad.
He can nuke a hurricane as soon as he can tell me what a half-life is.
Half-life? Half of everything I have I lose being president. I can't do a Trump impersonation.
No,
that was horrible.
Let's just not do that.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this little piece that we call What You Missed.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to overlook stories that impact the entire nation or stories that impact one region of the nation, but you find out through local news that they're impacting multiple and we're not making those connections. Things that need more attention and aren't getting it. So that's what we're going to... Anyone has a suggestion on what to call this segment, please let us know. We
put it in the comments.
Yeah. Facebook, Twitter. Yeah. YouTube, comments.
We love comments.
We love comments.
So Murray, what's the first story that you have today? Because I've got a couple too.
Okay, so my first story involves water and the water crisis, which ties in with thorium in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's a natural resource, and we're having serious issues with our natural resources.
We really truly are. We seem to suddenly be unable to manage any of them. Every single one of them.
Sterigenics, dumping coal ash in Lake Michigan, all of these things that are affecting Illinois and Joliet. We're trying to get a new water source. Are we going to get the coal ash water? Yay! Well, hopefully not.
You realize that they're taking coal ash out of Puerto Rico and bringing it to Florida to bury, right? In the wetlands.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because, that's just, because Florida isn't bad enough.
We all know about the crisis in Flint, Michigan.
Right.
And we know how long it took to bring that to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
We know how it took serious pressure, celebrities, public notice.
Honey, we've been talking about Flint now for 5 years.
Right.
And nothing has been done.
And we are facing that crisis all across the country.
Yep.
And the reason is because when most of the infrastructure was laid for these cities, the connectors were done with lead.
Right.
Lead pipes, because they went into homes. So anything after 1984, it was outlawed thanks to regulations.
EPA.
Making us be safer instead of taking them away. You see what I did there? You see what I did there? You don't want to die from lead poisoning. Well, you wouldn't, but... The dangers of lead affect the elderly. It affects
Children.
pregnant women and children particularly. It increases cases of dementia and Alzheimer's. It affects the elderly's brain. It also affects the development of the growing child's brain.
Up until age 22, 24, your brain is still growing and changing. And especially those years under 1, under 12.
Those are crucial, which is why if you have children, every time you go to the doctor, no matter where you live in the state of Illinois, they have to have a lead test. Or once a year, they need a lead test. And that's one way we can keep tabs on it. But this issue really came to the surface with Newark. Okay, so
Newark, Illinois?
Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey, okay.
New Jersey is facing the same sort of crisis. What's happening in New Jersey is there's an entire section that has lead pipes that have gone through, and those lead pipes are leaching, and it's affecting thousands and thousands and thousands of residents.
Yes, we had that on a smaller scale here in Ottawa, Illinois. So, and you know what they told them, Murray? That running water passing through it would help reduce the lead in their water. I don't know why they think that these placebo fixes are real and that people should, but people are gullible and they believe their leaders when they tell them things like that. And that's simply not true.
You brought up an excellent point that we are going to bring up back when we hit University Park in Chicago.
Okay.
So in New Jersey, that's the problem. However, the state has not done anything to rectify it. The lead levels are double what they are in Flint. The state has given every home, whether you have every address.
This is in Newark or
in Newark.
Okay.
This is for every physical address, you get two cases, 24 bottles, half-liter bottles of water. And that's to brush with, to cook with, to drink. Not to bathe, as the governor of New Jersey kept going, it's not to bathe, it's not to bathe. If you have a family of 4... that is I don't do math. Anyway, it's not much water. So recently there was some pressure placed on the governor.
Is it per week or per day? Did you say per week? So 12 bottles per person per week.
Yeah, pretty much.
8 glasses of water a day. There's 2 glasses in each bottle. So it's 4 per day for drinking alone.
And not brushing your teeth or cooking or anything else.
That you're supposed to have. And for your own good health.
There have also been extremely long lines, and it disadvantages those people who are in lower economic areas.
So there's no delivery.
No,
they have
it's
to go
not
and
delivery.
Get this.
You have to go to the city hall to pick it up.
If you're disabled, if you're without a vehicle, if you're elderly and you don't drive any longer, you don't have a license, boy, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Oh, they now have a 1-800 number that you can call, and they will. This is after all the pressure that they received. So what they tried to do at first was they told everyone, okay, you know what? Just run the water longer.
Yeah.
Which is why Illinois gets away with a loophole that allows us to have higher than normal lead levels in our water, is because the longer the water runs, the higher the lead content goes. And in Illinois, the loophole is you only have to have it's from the first draw, from the moment it comes out in the pipes. And the reason the content gets higher is because that water has been sitting in those lead pipes. So that's not what comes through your pipes first, which goes back to when we talk about New Jersey. So they said that it actually increased the levels of lead, which made the problem worse. They then tried these filters.
Yeah.
And they gave these filters out to all the residents that were affected by this. The filters were completely pointless and worthless and did absolutely nothing.
Again, another placebo to try to fool the public, to trust their public officials. And this is how public officials and politicians all get called liars. This is how it brands all of us, even the ones that are really doing the good work. And neither one of us are elected right now. But had we been elected, we wouldn't have done stupid. I wouldn't like to think I wouldn't do a stupid thing like that. Don't fool the people who elected you. They don't like it.
No, and it'll come back to bite you in the tush.
So I was in your face a little bit there.
Yeah. You did get a little feisty, but I'm fired up today.
Yeah, I know you were.
Oh, no, you heard my kitty.
So, yeah.
Oh, quick. I just noticed I wanted to say one quick thing.
Yeah.
Shout out totally off topic, to the Illinois Valley Vixens, amazing roller derby club, super strong women, fantastic. I want to do a show with them someday and go to one of their matches, but they're based right here in Ottawa. So
I know they are.
Go Vixens. All right, back to water.
So
Vixens need water too, which is why we need to fix the problem. But because of finally getting some pressure, the government, now they have the 1-800 number, so it'll be delivered to you. They've upped it to 4 cases a week per household.
Yippee.
4 cases of half-liter bottles.
I just think about how fast we go through water here in my house. And I can't imagine having restrictions like that to ration water. Yeah. To ration water because your infrastructure is failing.
Exactly.
And we have infrastructure problems here in Illinois, and they absolutely have them in Michigan, and they absolutely have them in New Jersey.
We have them all across the country.
Well, we talk about water. When I was a child, we lived in Provo, Utah. My dad had an engineering project out there. He was trying to save the trout streams in Utah from the bad mining operations, which, as a sideline about water and why we have contaminated water in the desert Southwest, these executives back in the 60s, instead of fixing the water problem, decided to instead buy property in Alaska and fish in those streams instead of fixing the problem.
Right. So what we do is we get something, we completely ruin it, and we leave it for someplace else. Why do you think the current administration wants a space force? So they have somewhere to go when this planet explodes. I think they really think it's like Spaceballs, and there will be an alternative place for them to take all of their...
There's a place for them. Anyway, but, so my dad did some work on the Navajo Four Corners Reservation when we were out there working on their water as well, because the people that live out there on that reservation, and it's a checkerboard. So you could have Apache, Navajo, Hopi. There's several different tribes that, we kind of threw them all there because it's the desert. Nobody wanted to live there. And we couldn't find gold or water there, so we drove.
Let's just relocate people.
Yeah,
there
we rolled
that we don't feel are equal to us because they have a different style of life.
In a future episode, we have to talk about how the Cherokee Nation is sending representatives to Congress.
I love that.
I love that.
Go back to water.
Anyway, so those people out there in my lifetime in the 60s have not had clean water. They have to literally, you take your pickup truck in and you fill up your water barrels, or the water lady comes around and fills up your water barrels with her big water truck. And this is how they survive. This is how they get by. And we have done nothing in all of those decades, in 50 years that 50 of the years I've been alive, nothing to help.
Of course
nothing. Because we discount.
Well, because it's not an...
there's no gold or oil out there.
Yeah, there's no minerals. There's no rights to anything.
Yeah.
Well, if sand becomes a commodity, cactuses, they'll be right in line to be moved off again.
Here's the thing. Frac sand that's mined right here in my state, right here in my county.
I know.
They're now buying it at different sources, so our frac sand mines are closing in LaSalle County. Oh, that's news to you?
That's news to
yeah.
you? Yeah.
No.
That's good on one hand.
Well,
fracking is very, very bad.
The frac sand mines do not employ that many people at the mines. They employ truck drivers to truck the sand to other places. The problem with frac sand is it is a very fine particulate matter that no matter how careful you are about collecting this and not allowing it out into the environment, it gets out. And what people die from out here is weird cancers.
You mean like people like who died from silica sand poisoning?
Exactly, where your lungs turn to cement.
Yeah, that was my uncle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And and people that die from it aren't people that are working in the mines or driving the trucks. It's people who live nearby.
Yeah.
And that's a common occurrence out here. It's actually, since you know somebody, I know several people, you probably know more people, and for them to shut down the frac sand mines, might spare a few lives. And we never resolved the wastewater issue.
No.
Out here in LaSalle County. And, I hate to lose jobs, but really, people, we have to get away from petrochemicals. We have to get away from petrochemicals because they're killing our planet. The frack sand is killing people. And it's time for us to start thinking about healthier alternatives for...
Let's put it this way. Capitalists, there's still money to be made. Y'all just need to change instead of thinking in terms of minerals like oil and coal and shale. Move that to renewable energy. You'll be able to make a fortune, still roll in it, and do something better for the world.
And here in Illinois, our governor is doing a lot. All of our coal-fired plants. Yeah, all of our coal-fired plants are closing. There's 13 closing in this state very soon. And again, I'm sorry about the jobs, but we have to start thinking about the future. It's not a sustainable course for our species, the human race, to survive.
We'll be living in a biome underground.
We'll be walking around with gas masks.
So we go back to our water situation and Chicago. Chicago's is slightly different. The water is actually contaminated. The source of the water. I mean, also 80% of all the homes, like I said, built before 84, have lead connectors.
Yep.
But this and this is the company Aqua. It sounds so refreshing. They're not. They actually...
Wait, are they like Agua Illinois or Water Illinois?
Aqua Illinois.
Yeah.
Aqua Illinois.
Because they're clear down in Streeter, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what they did was before they signed the contracts, they used the loophole of the first draw.
Yep.
And they added
phosphate
to the water to make it taste better. So that's not good to do. It's not good to put in the water. It's not good to put in your body.
No, phosphate buildup can have devastating effects on the human body.
I hear it makes you chunky. I claim that's what I have.
There is some research that shows that it causes people to be sedentary.
Does it give you chipmunkies?
If it does, we both have it. So, I don't care. It's just how I look.
Me too.
So, but moving on from that, Marie, we also talk, and water is a problem. Water is something we cannot survive without. The human race cannot survive without clean water. Mm-mm. And ladies and gentlemen, we owe it to our species, to the longevity and survival of our species, to clean our act up and to have clean water.
Heidi, you made a comment before we started taping. You said, until Trump took office, we're environmentalists. We're very conscious. I've been fighting for the environment. You've been fighting for the environment.
Since I was 7, yeah.
Yeah, since I was little. I grew up out here. I know how important it is. Mm-hmm. But you said even us didn't have any idea how the fragile state our Earth was actually in.
I remember reading Al Gore's Pulitzer Prize winning, Nobel Prize winning thesis on called Inconvenient Truth, which they made into a movie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it was short. The paper is not all that long, and that was a long time ago. That was 92, 94. Not a long time ago, but long enough that we should have learned from that. We should have learned from all of those things that we've been warned about. We should have learned when we poisoned Lake Erie to the point where nothing could live in it. We should have learned when you couldn't see the skyline of Manhattan for the smog, when you couldn't see Los Angeles for the smog. The water off of LA is green because of the sewage. I don't know if you've ever swam in the ocean there, but you will get a bad case of dermatitis if you're in there too long. I got one myself. We should have learned all of these lessons long ago, and we haven't learned. We haven't done anything. And the one thing that I think is the most shocking is the progress that we made under the Obama administration has been wiped out. And if anything, the polar ice caps are melting at a significant rate, but now they're melting at an alarming rate. We have never had a drought like this in the Arctic in human history. And I don't care if you believe it's just the last 2,000 years since Jesus came into the picture. Or, Well, and it's multiple layers. Every time we do something, there's every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Yes.
And we are so prone as people, as society, to react because that's human nature. That's how we survived as cavemen before everything went to hell. Yeah. But we've also evolved into higher rational thinking beings. And so we have to start using that part of the brain
That's why God blessed us with reason and skill.
instead of reacting.
Yeah.
So instead of fixing the poisoned water that is poisoned from coal ash, how about we don't put the coal ash in it in the first place?
Well, that's why I started being an
See,
environmentalist.
mommy's in your Maury's in your face.
My dad would always tell me when he would go out to do one of these engineering projects, Heidi, you can never put the earth back the way it was before. Before we tore it all up and destroyed it, you can repair it, but it will never recover. The scars will always be there.
So we need to start thinking about these things and being proactive as opposed to being reactive. We need to start addressing our infrastructure issues, which some states are. Illinois, good job. We love you for doing that. But you don't know about the water crisis. You don't know about the non-drinking water that reservation Native Americans have to drive miles and fill up giant jugs in order to have water on their reservation to drink.
Right.
You don't know about Chicago being poisoned because of a company that is shady and breaks the rules. Hi, knock, knock, regulation, good thing. We have New Jersey, who is in denial of the problem that they're facing, and it affects a lower socioeconomic area, which makes it not as important.
Because people with higher economic standing that have more money
have more pull because
will
they
have
donate
more water, right?
To campaigns, to candidates, to
Hello,
elected officials.
Hello, Foxconn in Wisconsin.
They have more connections, and because of that, their areas typically are
better off.
Well, and they can afford
less
to
polluted.
live in a better area.
Yeah. Well, when you can
and Foxconn, water is so important.
Yeah, and that was every bit Scott Walker and Paul Ryan that helped Foxconn come and take advantage of the people of Wisconsin. And you people ought to remember that.
Not interface, save the world.
Oh, sorry. You need to remember that the next time you step into the voting world.
How you save the world is you can remember that the next time you step in. That's how you save the world, Missy.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go back to saving the world. I don't think Heidi's a good cop.
I'm getting stern. I'm the stern mama today.
Well, and we want to wrap up with a good news item.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? I'm sure some of us have heard, but I know a lot of people had not heard about the young man in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah. And, well, is that the one that was registering voters?
Yes!
Hey, listen, if you haven't heard, Popeyes is coming out with a new chicken sandwich. I'm sure you've seen the commercial on TV. I, who don't watch TV, have even seen the commercial on TV because sometimes it's on when I'm walking through the room.
Sometimes it's on Twitter.
Oh, is it? So that would be more likely where I saw it. Anyway, apparently this is a pretty kick-ass chicken sandwich.
It's supposed to be ridiculously amazing, and they created a great marketing buzz.
Yeah.
So this wonderful young man named David Ledbetter, shout out David Ledbetter. He's 17 years old. In conjunction, 17.
Oh,
he's pre-registered to vote.
I love young activists.
Oh, I know. He actually has an organization that is in the process of turning an organization that he's been doing since he was 15 into a nonprofit, and that's to provide a better education for the children of Charlotte. This kid is awesome, right? He's just
still my beating heart.
Yes, so some good news in the world. And he teamed up with an attorney in town, and they decided to do it when they would have big crowds, huge lines. Popeyes. For those of you who don't have a Popeyes or know what it is,
it's a chicken
great
place.
Chicken place. But they cook the chicken, so chicken takes a while to cook. It's not like McDonald's where they scrape some kangaroo together and put it out the door.
They don't serve kangaroo.
I don't know. It's not meat. Maybe sawdust.
I don't know.
Anyway, they actually cook it and prepare it. And it takes a long time. So even in drive-thrus, you will always see 6 or 7 cars lined up. Like going through a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, the lines at Popeyes are long. And I have to say, there isn't one near where I live out in the boonies, but I might drive in for that.
Oh, we could have lunch. We could have a chicken sandwich. Sorry, vegan friends. Oh, my bad. Anyway, so this kid decides that with
I
all
raised
of the
chickens, too.
I love chickens. Do you know she had a purse chicken?
I did. I had Emma the purse chicken.
We shall do an episode on the purse chicken as a bonus. For anyone who shares, we'll put this out there. For anyone who shares our podcast
I still have the purse. I don't have the chicken.
You will get a special episode that only you will get, and that or subscribes. Anybody who subscribes on YouTube or our podcast or our website, Heartland Mamas, you will get a special episode on the purse chicken. You don't want to miss the purse chicken. Okay, you really do not want to miss the purse chicken.
I'm going to have to call my grandniece whose idea that was. We used to take Emma the purse chicken everywhere. She was my support chicken.
Give it away.
I know.
Don't give it away. All right. But, David Ledbetter is pretty fantastic. He knew there'd be big crowds and anticipation and really long lines. She's still laughing about the purse chicken. See, it's that good. You have to subscribe in order to get the purse chicken.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
It's okay, love.
Okay.
Anyway, he was walking through with sample ballots
Great.
and voter registration cards. Mm-hmm. So as people were standing in line, he was encouraging them to vote, showing them what's on a ballot, what they can expect. It was fantastic. And what a great way. Hundreds of people.
Young activists. You're the future.
Doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 90, you can, and let's say you can't, you're not as mobile as you were. You can write postcards. You can make mentor. We can find you a youngster who wants to do something that you want to do. Let's partner everybody up and use each other's strengths.
Yeah, yeah.
So David Ledbetter.
Awesome job.
Yeah. Great job. Thank you to the family and the community that gave him the encouragement to do that.
Yep.
So a little piece of good news. So today you got your nobody who knows about it, and you got good news. All around, pretty good half hour.
I'm excited. We had a good show today, and I hope you enjoyed it. We look at things a little bit differently sometimes. We look for stuff that might interest you. So if you have a topic you want us to cover, just drop us a line. Send us an email. Put it in the comments, whatever, and we'll be happy to look into it.
And we have some exciting shows coming up. We have candidates. We have sitting congressmen. We are going down to universities. We got some great stuff going to be happening.
We're going to talk about why we don't have term limits in Congress.
Today?
Not today.
No, not today. No.
Because when I go places, people ask me questions, and
that's a good one.
And I have an answer.
And we'll cover why Reagan was horrible and why I think all Catholics are hypocrites. Not all. Sorry. Just the patriarchal overlords that rule the religion.
I'm Anglican, which is English Catholic.
Not Roman Catholic, not Irish Catholic. Very different.
All
right, so please subscribe, share. We can't do this without you. We're not even asking you to give us money. We just want you to help spread the word right now.
Yeah.
So please share us, like us, ask us to come out and do a live broadcast. We're getting close to being able to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's Heartland Mamas, MAMAS.com.
Well, Marie will wrap up our 25th episode. And 25.
Again, thank you to you guys. Thank you to our 1,000 unique listeners. And we need 1,000 more, so share and spread the word.
Gotta retweet.
Retweet.
Share.
Email. Text. Pager?
Well, how about a skywriting?
Smoke signals. We talked about Native Americans. We could... Some ship flag things, right? There's a whole language of flags.
Interpretive dance.
Oh, I could do that. All right, maybe we'll also give you a bonus of me dancing, which is really bad. Anyway, thank you so much. We'll see you in a couple days.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.